Hi, welcome back to Will Candles. My name is Sherry and I make videos all about making candles in the candle business. Today's video is going to be all about some quick tips on how to get ready for the fall candle season. Okay, all my candle makers, let's get started. Okay, so these are my candle business tips, and these are quick steps for the fall candle season that is coming, rapidly approaching. And the reason why this is so important, because this is your money maker. If you're in this to sell candles and make some money, this is it. Peak season is coming up. It starts, I would say as soon as like people start seeing kids going back to school, and depending on where you live at, like you'll see the temperatures start to fall and people start feeling like, oh, let's stay in, let's get cozy, let's get ready. These holidays are coming up. I think the fall kicks in, and then right before Halloween, and then as Halloween gets closer, they try to you'll see the stores put up all this stuff and people start getting in the mood for Thanksgiving and then the Christmas holidays. So all of it just kind of rolls up. It kind of starts going uphill, and then it peaks for a while during the holiday season, and then it will fall off until the new year. So this is it. So if you are a new candle maker and you're like, I'm not ready, or if you're, a beginner and you've never done the fall season before, hopefully these quick tips will help you get things in order. And primarily, the things I'm giving you, it can be done within 30 days or less. So if you're not ready, this is just, we're heading in the last month of summer. So fall is around the corner, and I think you can do it. I have faith in you. If this is really, really what you want to do, I have faith in you that you can do it, because if I did it, you can do it. So I have my handy dandy notes down here, and I'm going to go off of my notes to kind of follow along. And I'm going to just show you some different things so that, I'm a visual person. I like to see what they're talking about, not just sit here and have a conversation. So, okay. First thing on the agenda, if you haven't already given your candle business a name, you're probably going to want to do that now. The best advice I can give about a candle business name is keep it short, keep it simple, keep it something that's relatable, maybe the word candle in there somewhere, just so that people know that as soon as they read your business name, they know, oh, okay, they must sell candles, or this is a candle shop, or this is a candle website. Also included with choosing your name, you might want to just kind of decide what color scheme you're going to go with. I started out with black and white, and I thought, oh, that's really sharp, that's sophisticated, and then I thought, no. So one of my favorite colors that I used actually in my living room as an accent wall is the color teal. So the moment I threw the color teal in there, I'm like, okay, that's popping. And what you start out with won't necessarily be with what you end up with. A lot of people change things, as time progresses. Maybe the direction of your business goes in a different direction than you thought it would. Maybe it started out to be maybe about, I don't know, a foodie type of candle thing, and then now you've changed it to kind of a luxury type of thing. So, it can always change, but for right now, to get started, you're going to have to select kind of a color scheme. So my color scheme is white, black, and teal, and then any bright color that you can throw in there. As you'll see the thumbnails, I always make them really super bright colors for my YouTube channel. So that is it. And let's see. And you'll kind of want to decide maybe starting out, I mean, you know, you hear talk about LLCs and you hear talk about sole proprietor, which means just you yourself using your own social security number. If you're just starting out and you just want to kind of see where things go, maybe stick with sole proprietor. You're applying for things. If they ask you, you know, what you want to be listed as, or you know, what is your business structure, you might want to just start out with that. It's totally up to you. Do a little research on starting a new business. And I don't know about in your state, but in the state of Ohio, we have the Ohio Business Gateway where we can get on there and we can kind of find the answers to anything that we need to find. So you're going to want to create your business name, create kind of your color scheme. And at some point, I listed this down below when we'll talk about a little bit later, getting your vendor's license. Because a lot of events that you may sell candles out, they will require that you have a vendor's license, which basically you're collecting sales tax and you're paying your state the sales tax that you collected on their behalf. And you're giving them their money. And it's a way for them to keep track, and also goes on to your taxes. Okay, so I'm going to keep moving on down here. Number 2, create your candles. Some people, the big question is, how many candles do I need to start? I've heard people say as little as 6. I've heard people say as much as 20, 25. My sweet number, if you're going to start out and you're just selling to like friends and family and co-workers, you could start out as little as 6. But if you're going to have a website, I would be a little reserved about ordering something on a website that I pulled up and it only had 6 candles on there. That's just me, and it's, you know, just my opinion. But I would say at least a good solid 10 to 12 candle fragrances you should start out with. So that is kind of a sweet spot, would be, I guess, around 12, 10 to 12. Okay. And creating your candles, I'm going to tell you everything that you're going to need. Lucky you. Not lucky me that you're here watching me, right? Okay. If you have not come up with your candle collection that you want to start your business with, now is the time to try to stay focused on that. So you're going to need the basics. You're going to need wax. You're going to need a jar. You're going to need a wick and a sticker, and you're going to need some fragrance. Okay, I'm going to start you out very basic. This jar here, this is the medium straight-sided jar from Candle Science. And don't worry, I'm going to link all this stuff down below. It is so simple, so basic. I'm going to give you the wax that I use, which is C6 coconut soy wax. I'm even going to tell you how to wick this little puppy at 6% fragrance. You're going to wick this with a CD 14 wick, and which is also on Candle Science. Now, for your fragrances, I'm going to give you some fragrance, popular ones for the fall, but for right now, just look at any video that I've put up where I've reviewed different fragrances. Maybe there's some fall candle fragrances in there, and you might not want your collection to be all fall fragrances. You want, at least I would have a vanilla in there, I would have a floral in there, I would have something woodsy in there, I would have something kind of the cologne, kind of the heavy scent that men often like, but women also like those types of candles as well. So just read through the or listen through the reviews about the candle fragrances. Even venture out, watch some other YouTubers and see what they're reviewing, but make sure that their reviews are candle fragrances that they intended to use or have used in soy or coconut soy wax. That's going to be the most helpful. So what I'm going to link down below is you can get a dozen of these jars for around $20 off of Candle Science. There's also a very similar jar on Amazon. And if you're an Amazon Prime member, you wouldn't have to necessarily pay the shipping that you're going to have to pay with Candle Science. So, and even the lids from Candle Science fit onto these jars. I think somewhere in one of my videos, I have some information about those jars. So I'm going to link Candle Science's website down below, and I'm also going to link the jars through Amazon. So there's not a lot of difference except for the little contraption that I use to do my wick placement to make sure that the wick is in the center of the jar. That seems to rock a little bit on the ones from Amazon. And then also with their lids, their packaging seems to leave a little bit of a print on some of the lids to the jars. So sometimes in a pinch, if I need it fast, like next day, I'll order it from Amazon and I'll have extra lids from Candle Science, and I'll actually use the lids from Candle Science on those jars. But here lately, I've been ordering straight from Candle Science because the more you order, the cheaper the jars get. So that kind of offsets the shipping a little bit. Okay, so the wax, coconut soy, the jar, medium straight-sided jar. I think it's a 9-ounce jar that they call this on Amazon, but I'll make sure that I link it down below. Wick and sticker, wick with coconut soy wax. CD14 is a great wick for this. And the stickers, I put this stuff to the side so I could show it to you. These are just basic stickers that I ordered off of Amazon. I haven't had any trouble with them. They seem to work. I'll make sure that they're linked down below. And fragrance. Now, depending on what review that you watched, I'll give you some fragrances that are really, really popular from Candle Science. So that should be enough to get you started. Okay, so wax, a jar, wick and a sticker, and fragrance. You got that. Okay, we're moving on. Now, next, let's see. We're going to talk about labels. You're going to need some kind of labels to tell you what the candle is when people are buying them. These labels, even though they look super high professional, I made them, created them myself. I actually create my labels on Canva. And once I create them on Canva, then I go to Avery and I upload the design that I created, and then I have them created through Avery, and they are the ones who actually ship it to me. So I think this is a 2.5 by 3 inches tall, 2.5 inches wide. Okay, so I'm even going to tell you the net weight and the grams of wax that you need on here. So the net weight is 7 ounce. The grams for this wax, the total wax, which includes the fragrance oil, is 198 grams. So you've already beat the battle for your first candles. If you use this straight, medium, straight-sided jar, you know the wick, you know the wax, you know how many grams is supposed to be in here. You know it's a 6% fragrance load. So you would, this would be an easy, just create you 12 different candles in this jar and you're going to be on your way, well on your way in time enough for those fall candle sales. So the other label that you're going to need is warning labels. And on the bottom of all my candles, there's a warning label about, you know, just precautions you should take when burning a candle. Of course, they should be never left unattended. You need to trim your wick 1/4 of an inch. I don't think that information's on there, but don't burn near flammable material and things of that nature. So always put your warning label on the bottom. And again, these came from Amazon. I will link them down below for you. Also, for your labels, they do not have to be this fancy. I chose to not add color to my candle wax, so I put the color into the label. But this is a company, Pen and Beach. Yeah, I think it's Pen and Beach. Candle Co. So this is a company that I actually went to here in Columbus, Ohio, in the Short North area. Great little candle shop. I really enjoyed it. I think this is a lavender. Yeah, it's a lavender candle. And it's really plain to the point and very easily recognizable. If anybody has a candle from this company, it's very easily recognized. So, but it does have the name of the fragrance on the bottom, but really a nice, clean, simple, minimalist look to it, which is just as effective. My candles just do it a little bit differently. So if you want to do a basic label and you have a computer or a laptop and you have a printer at home, you could just get some blank Avery labels, go on Avery, they'll give you a space to design. You'll put the name of the candle fragrance and maybe a few notes, if not all of the notes, fragrance notes that are on there. You'll want to make sure that you put the net weight and you'll put the grams on there. And somewhere on the label should be your company name. Okay, so on my label, it says William Caesar 4th Collection. And then there's a line, a separation line that says hand-poured coconut soy. And then I have 3 of the fragrance notes down here. And then I have just above that net weight 7 ounce. And then in parentheses, I have 198 grams. I always put the net weight in the ounces and in parentheses, the grams. And then it has our logo over here in the corner. I hope you can see this just fine. And it seems to have worked for me. People have really given me compliments on the labels. So however you want to do it is up to you. You can go for basic and minimalist, or you can go all out and become a Canva queen like I have and label your candles. But definitely you want a label that says the name and the weight, a few of your fragrance notes, because you want those customers to be able to pick up that candle and tell a little bit by that label what that candle is going to smell like. And also, don't forget your warning label on the bottom. One other thing, when you go into Canva, you don't have to design and save that design and then upload it over to Avery. Canva actually has labels that you can print. They're called stickers. Like you can do a circle sticker, you can do a square sticker. So their stickers come in different sizes, and you'll just have to go on there and see what size you may need. But for this one, you could actually use a square sticker and it would fit into this space. Okay, so now you've got your wax jar, wick sticker, and fragrance. You've got a way to make your candle labels. You know you need a warning label on the bottom. The next thing that you want to talk about, okay, people have purchased your candle. Now, how are you going to give this candle to them? If they are friends and family and coworkers, you could come up with a little deal like this, which is what I do. I wrap that candle in some tissue paper, and this is, you know, the little thin like gift paper. Wrap it in there. I have a bag here that I open up. I stick that candle in. Also from Amazon, tissue paper also from Amazon. This would be wrapped in tissue paper. I stick it in that bag, put a little tissue paper down in there so it's sticking up. And then I have labels that I've made because it's all about branding. So somewhere along the way, you're going to have to develop your brand. And sometimes you have to play around with that a little bit. So here are my stickers. Just says Will Candles. And I'll have a sticker that goes on one of these bags. And with the little black tissue paper sticking up in the candle, it just looks real cute. And I think they appreciate your effort, extra effort when they receive their candle. You want to make sure that you're giving them a quality feel, like an experience when they're purchasing your candles. Let's see. The other thing is, if you're not giving them their purchase in person and you actually have to ship. Let's say you're not an established business right now and you haven't set up your shipping. You don't understand all of that, but you want to get into this fall candle sales. What you could do is, there are various boxes, and this is, oops, I got a whole table full of stuff down here that so this is a 7 by 5 by 5. And I can usually package two candles in here. I'm getting tongue twisted here. You'll tape up your box, and then, but you'll want something a little better to secure that this candle arrives not broken. So then you might want to start investing into some bubble wrap. So usually I'll do a whole square, maybe a 12 by 12 of bubble wrap. I'll wrap up the candle. I'll put it down into the box. And if they order 2, I'll put that one beside of it. And then maybe even squeeze some packing peanuts down in there, which you can also get on Amazon. Now, if you have not set up your shipping, you can, if it's not very heavy, you can price your candles so that it absorbs some of that shipping cost. So right now, like just to get out the gate, if you have to go to the post office and just mail your candles, then you just do for now. But just know somewhere in your plan, should be a plan to set up your shipping, which you'll receive a discounted rate as a business somewhere along the road, because shipping can get costly. So let's say you're shipping several candles and it's getting, you know, heavier than what you thought. And I'm trying to get more stuff that I have down here. So then you'll want to save some money, you'll want to go with the United States Postal Service flat rate boxes. So these boxes, it won't matter like how much it weighs. And also you can go onto their website and you can have these boxes shipped to your house. You can have the labels shipped to your house. You can have those poly bags shipped to your house. Doesn't cost you anything. So that way you're not actually having to buy boxes and you're paying a flat rate. So what you're going to have to do is figure out, you know, with the number of candles that person ordered, whether it be 1, whether it be 5 or 6, or maybe you made different candles than what I had suggested. So just depends on how many candles are going into that package. So definitely take advantage of that until of the United States Postal Service boxes until you get your shipping set up. Or you can get your own boxes that it's smaller and just one candle's going. You know, how much can it cost to ship one candle? I can't really remember off the top of my head right now, or I would share that with you as well. You'll want to have thank you cards. Now, I did a customized thank you card that I created actually on Canva. But you can just get a generic thank you card and put it in there and hand sign your name, like thank you from Little Candles or thank you from whatever your candle. They really appreciate when things are handwritten. Let's see. We talked about USPS boxes and labels. If you don't have like a ship station set up for your business already and you're just creating labels, for the boxes from the post office, you can get those labels for free and you can just handwrite them. If not, you can just buy like generic mailing labels and handwrite them, or either you can use Avery and you can actually put in an address, print them out, and then stick them to your boxes. Okay, so at this point, if you've made it through creating your business name, starting to create your branding, a little bit of what it's going to look like. You've created your candles. You've got you a good 10 to solid 12 candles. You've got labels that state the name of your candle on there and your warning labels for the bottom. You've created your packaging and your shipping plan for now, even though it may change, it may be temporary. And you'll progress as your business progresses. Don't worry about that. The main thing is get out the gate for fall of 2023. Okay, so if you've gotten through all of that and fall is still around the corner, if you've gotten through that and it's like after Christmas, okay, you can just slow your roll. But no, I'm just kidding. If you've gotten through all that, now we need to talk about getting your vendor's license. Because a lot of these places where you're going to sell these candles at, they're going to require that you have a vendor's license. And you do need, if you are collecting sales tax, you do need to provide that information and give the state their sales tax money. And I think we talked a little bit about the vendor's license before. So that is that. Okay, so moving on. Now that you've gotten all the way down the list to number 6, so created your business name and your branding, created your candles, you've got your labels, you've got your packaging and shipping plan. Now you've got your vendor's license. Okay, where are you going to sell these candles? Well, let's find out. Okay. So I'm just going to go down this list of where you can sell these candles. First of all, you can sell to family members. You can sell to friends. And if you post these on your Facebook page, don't expect for trumpets to roll out. It amazes me. And this is true for, I mean, a lot of people on Facebook talk about this. Friends and family like run away when you're selling something. So don't worry about that. They're not your customers. Your customers are candle loving people. And if anyone ever is not interested in selling a candle, are buying a candle, they're not your customer. Move on. Don't take it personally. Your customers are out there. Believe me, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. They're out there. And they love handcrafted things, hand-poured things. They love specialness. You know, anybody can go to the store and get the same generic candle that everybody in the country and beyond has. But it's really something special about finding something unique or something that someone handcrafted. So don't worry, your customers are out there, and you just make sure that you make yourself transparent and able to be found, and they will find you. Okay, so let me go down this list. So in person, you can have an online website, online store, Facebook, farmers markets, craft fairs, festivals, and I also refer to these as pop-up events as a vendor. And that's something else you may want to initially invest in, is one of those pop-up tents. I got mine from Easy Up because I knew I was really going to be out here hitting the road, and I wanted something really durable. So it's quite a bit more costly than what you would find on Amazon. But the pop-up tents on Amazon will work just fine for now to get you out the gate and get you started and get you through this first fall season. So I'll make sure I link one of those down below. I'll also link Easy Up in case you want to venture into something a little more commercial, a little more industrial. And also, if I had to choose a color for a pop-up, I would go with white, because there are some vendors that prefer white and they prefer that everyone be uniform. And then there are lots of vendors, or pop-up events, I should say, that they don't really care what color it is. So if you just get white, and you're okay normally everywhere that you go. So I would bet on a white pop-up tent. Okay, so the next, okay, so we got down the festivals. I should have just read down this list before I start talking on. So then you're going to have, you could do wholesale orders to like gift shops, spas and boutiques, local shops, shops that are like mom and pop shops or privately owned by someone. Usually you'll do a 50% off whatever your retail price is. Like, let's say you sell your candles for $20. You're going to sell it to them for $10, because then you're going to reduce what you put into the candle, and you won't make as much as if you sold it yourself to a customer. But wholesale orders usually come in bulk, and you usually do fairly well when you're dealing with wholesales. So that's something to consider. Yard sales, if there's a big community sale, or someone you know in the family, or you're having a yard sale, put your pop-up tent up, set your candles out if it's not a hot day, you know, especially with fall coming up. So, you know, the temperature should be cooling down depending on where you live, and then you can easily just, you know, put them out there. Hey, if you make 10,000 a day at $20 a pop, there's $200 you just made. Okay, so co-workers, if you're allowed, sometimes, you know, places of employment forbid that. Private labeling. So let me explain what that is. Private labeling means that you would go, let's say you go to a store and you say, hey, I do private labeling, which means you become a manufacturer then for their candles, and they put their labels on, or you even create their labels with their company name, their logo, and they sell it as if that product is theirs. So you are now a supplier, a distributor, a manufacturer, what have you. But those sales can be consistent, and they can come in rather large bulk orders. So that also is very profitable. Something to think about, certainly. Even if you don't do that this year, think about it for the years to come. Okay, let's see. Okay, so when you put your things on your social media, so let's talk about social media. So you can do Facebook page, you can do TikTok, you can do Instagram, and anything else that you can think of. Those are just the ones off the top of my head. And then when you have your products listed on there, you can either do paid ads, or you can just create a following to your social media links. And I'm trying to think, I'm looking through my notes to see if I left anything out. Okay, so I think that's enough to just to give you a general idea. And I hope you got your notebook. I hope you are writing this stuff down, because this is kind of like a, you know, how did I get started for the fall? I'm going to tell you, oh, matter of fact, I am going to show you. Do you see this little lunch pail here? It wasn't exactly this one, but I actually use this one for myself. When I first got started, I didn't have anything. I didn't have a website. I didn't have anything, but I had candles and they had labels on them, and you know, we knew how we were going to take orders and they were going to pay for them, and we used Cash App when we did it in person. So my son went to work and he said, Mom, why don't you let me take a few of your candles? So neatly in here, and I don't know if I can get you to see this, but do you see that? A dozen of candles fits. This is actually a lunch thing, and it's actually insulated. So that was also great. His insulated lunch bag, actually you could put an ice pack in there and keep the candles cool, which made it nice. So he had 6 different scents in here, and he would just stop at random people and say, hey, I got candles. And it was right at the beginning of fall. They went crazy. When my son came home from work, I kid you not, he had $750 worth of orders. So that was it. And that's what really kind of launched me selling candles. And it was at the beginning of fall when that happened. And the rest, I mean, started getting on YouTube, started doing all this different stuff, and it just transpired from there. So get your little handy dandy lunch bag, whoever you're around, and say, hey, I've got my candles with me. You know, you want to smell my new scents or whatever, come up with your own conversation. And I think that will get you started. Now, I know I've thrown a lot at you. And the reason why I didn't go into full detail into a lot of these things is because it is a lot. And it would be an hour or 2 long video if I did that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave websites down below. I'm going to leave the website links for Canva, for Avery, for the labels, Canva for design. If you don't know how to design on Canva, my YouTube channel is not going to teach you how to design on Canva. I may show you how I design my own just to give you some hints or some tips or tricks, but there are a ton of great videos already on YouTube how to design on Canva. If you can master Canva, oh my gosh, you're going to be so amazed at how much branding you can do on your own without paying someone else. For your domain name, because if you decide to get a storefront, so for the storefront, I'm going to list down below Shopify, which is where my candles, where my storefront is with, is Shopify. Shopify has so many things that to help you along the way. They even have like domain name suggestions, and they can take you all through the domain name process. If you don't use Shopify, depending on what you use, you could either go with GoDaddy.com for your domain name, or you could go with Bluehost.com, which is a hosting a company that I used to use years ago, which they're really, really great. They have great help. You can call them. They'll walk you through things. They'll talk to you. So I really did enjoy having my website hosted by Bluehost.com. And of course, GoDaddy also hosts websites, but I usually only utilize GoDaddy for my domain names. Okay, then also, if you're not ready to start out like with your shipping, or if you are ready to start out, you know, trying to utilize professional business shipping for your business, ShipStation is what works so well, and it's so easy to use, and there's lots of YouTube videos out there to teach you how to use ShipStation. Also for payments, lots of times when I'm out and about, and if they don't go out, you know, try to say, hey, you can go buy this off my website. If they're buying from me directly, I use my Square. And I don't know if you're familiar with this, but if you have an iPhone, you have your Apple in here that you're connected to, you just take this, you pop it in the bottom, you put in the amount, and then they swipe their debit or credit card, and it processes the payment right there. So I'll put the link for this, and also they have different points of sale. Like they have a whole little setup, like if you actually have a store or a shop, or you actually do a pop-up shop that, you know, where you have electricity or something like that. So I will make sure that I link all of these websites down below, and hopefully that this is helpful. So for questions, put your questions down below. I'm usually pretty good at getting back with you. I know that this is a lot, but I just wanted you to know that we have about 30 days, a little less, before the 1st of September. That is enough time for you to get in on the fall candle sales. People, you know, they're tired of summer. They're ready to get geared up for the holidays. They're ready to get back in their homes and start nesting. And in most places, it starts cooling off. I won't say most places. Well, where I live, Ohio, it's going to cool off, trust and believe. But people who love candles in the fall, they're like, oh, they cannot buy enough. So I think I've given you enough to help you get started. And if you have questions, leave questions if I need to do another video. And again, I won't do videos like how to use Canva, because there's too many Canva professionals out there who have done videos where you could really learn step-by-step guides from them. So I think this is enough. I think I gave you enough information to create you a candle that is of quality. You can even do a plain, simple label. You can look at examples. You can always Google candle labels, do it yourself, candle labels, and you can see examples of what other people have done. And just always remember, what really, really sells a candle is the smell of that candle when they first smell it. And then, excuse me, when they get it home, how well it smelled in their home and filled up their room. So just remember, the cold throw is when they open the jar and they smell it. That's what's going to sell your candle. The hot throw, which is when they get home and they light that candle and it smells up their room, that's what's going to get them to come back and become a repeat customer. So always remember that. And let's see, I did promise you a few candle fragrances. Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple of very popular, very amazing fall scents. From Flaming Candle, I would suggest Pumpkin Spice Latte. That's a pretty amazing candle. Also from Flaming Candle, Apple Cider Donut. That's a great smelling fragrance. I'm gonna go down to Nature's Garden. French Vanilla Oak from Nature's Garden is an amazing scent. And let's see. So that's 2 or 3. That's enough to get you started. Just anything pumpkin-y, you know, spicy, the home-baked things. Fallen Leaves. There's a Fallen Leaves type. I believe that is either Flaming Candle or Candle Science. I'm sorry, I can't remember that. But I'll link these down below, the ones that I have mentioned, and maybe a few others. So make sure that you check all of the links below. Also know that I am an Amazon affiliate. So when you see my links from Amazon, they do give me a small kickback when you buy through those links, but it's at no cost to you. So you would pay the same for what you're buying, no matter if you went through my link or not. It's just that I'm an Amazon affiliate, and that's how that program works. The other links, I'm not linked to them. I'm not a promoter of them. I'm just putting them down there so that you can have the information. I'm trying to think real quick if there's anything else. I think that's it. I think that we have covered everything that I could real quick. And I want to know about your progress. I want to know if you actually got things set up. I want your questions. If there's anything that I can help you with, or if you get stuck on, let me know. But I'm like, hey, we got a whole month We've got a whole month, and you can do it. You can get some candle sales. If it's your first time sales, you have picked the perfect time to come out the gate. Okay, so that is it. Thank you for watching my channel. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed now, make sure that you hit that little bell down below and click where it says subscribe, and then click again to click the bell, and you'll see the little bell, and that will notify you whenever I put up new videos. And I don't know, I just feel like this was rambling on, but I was just trying to throw all these quick tips at you. I hope it was effective. I hope that it really helps you, and I hope it gets you pumped up and geared up and ready for the fall candle season. And I think that's it. Oh, and if you like the video, click like down below. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, and my shirt today says, I'm a candle loving nurse. So, and this is also from my Etsy shop. So I'll put a lot of separate links as what directly pertain to this video below. And then below that, I will put a link to my link tree where you can see different things that I have linked out there. I'm going to take it by now that you have pouring pots and thermometers and all that kind of stuff for your candle making. If you don't, the other links will be down there, and you can click on my links, and you can find everything that you need to get started with your candle business, which is why we're all here, I think. I hope. So anyway, I've had a good time with you guys as usual. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of my new subscribers. I was so excited. Thank you for the comments. I hope I've got a lot of questions. I hope I've answered your questions to the best of my ability. And I'm really just having a good time with you guys. I really enjoy when I look down on my phone and I see that comments were made. Okay, so I'm really rambling on at this point. So thanks for watching. Bye.